Good morning to a very windy start down at HRON Lamborghini Hatfield, my local supercar dealership where every single manufacturer is pretty much under one roof. And to my right is a leaf blower, keeps revving up his leaf blowing machine. But behind me we have the brand new Lamborghini press car, the Huracan STO, that was recently at Goodwood Festival of Speed in the most beautiful spec, viola blast with the gloss black details, exposed carbon, satin black wheels. And this week I've got this car and it is going to be my daily driver, the most hardcore Huracan variant. Can I daily drive this car? Is it too uncomfortable? How easy is it to use? And the first thing that I've got to do is head into central London for a meeting. What Lamborghini have created here, just on my initial impressions, this is the first time I've driven a right-hand drive STO on UK roads. Yes, it's firm, yes, it's stiff, I'm bouncing around a lot, and the tarmac in and around London is shocking at the best of times. But my God, is it easy to maneuver. Who cares about that rear visibility? It literally makes no difference whatsoever. You have wing mirrors, you can see pretty much everywhere that you need to see, and how light the steering is, how small the car is, how good and smooth the gearbox is. I'm just driving it around in STO mode and it is so nice to cruise around in. My lower back is slightly seizing up, but on smooth tarmac like this, like, I can steer with one finger. It's such an easy car to drive, yet looks so intimidating. And it's the complete opposite. It's got all of these wings and flares and active aero that on track is so important and makes this car perform so well. But it is an absolute dream to just cruise around in at 20 miles an hour through central London. And I wasn't expecting that. There's no point really, I'm just sat in traffic. I was going to try and drop the windows and boot it through that tunnel, but they've made London so dull to drive through. I'm going to park this car up and I promise the next clip you will see we're going to be having some proper fun with it, because this week I've got loads of plans and this is coming everywhere with me. How have my parking sensors not come off? I've got Apple CarPlay there and I've got the reversing camera up there, but I don't know how far back I can go. I'm going to carry on. This has got every option going. Have a look at this. I mean, how good does it look? There you go, you can see the paint here. It is such a cool spec. You've got these little details here that are all painted, they're not wrapped, all over the engine bay as well. What a car, and actually so easy to get in and out of London. I was a little bit lucky in terms of this parking space. But there we go, central London, I have made it. Good morning and welcome to day 2 and another action-packed day. Around the M25 we go to Surrey, where I'm heading to Scuderia Prestige in the Huracan STO to show the guys there, but also have a look at some of the stock that they've got. I will explain a little bit more, but I've just packed the car up. And because we don't really have a boot anymore in the front of the STO, the interior is rather packed in. And as you can hear, I'm currently on hold with Sky to try and sort out my monthly package on TV to get everything set up for the football season. So I'm currently on hold and I'm so confident that they are not going to pick up in the next 2 minutes that I'm just leaving my phone there whilst I get GoPros set up, and then we will head off and I will try and find some country roads along the way. But it is so surreal to have this parked up outside my house. It is the most bonkers car I've seen it in a long time, and my wife has said many a time that this is the most ridiculous Lamborghini she has ever seen. Just so many grooves, wings, scoops, various bits and pieces to the STO that make it an unbelievably looking cool car. And then obviously in the spec that it's in, with the matching interior down here, it's pretty spectacular. I've just watched an orange 720S get loaded up into that low loader and heading off to a customer. So someone today is going to have a very good afternoon. And like me, I'm having a fantastic time daily driving this STO. And from every angle, the more I look, the more lines I see. But my original plan for today, whilst we were driving over to Scuderia Prestige, was to tell you exactly what I had planned for that car today. So we are here in Surrey. Later on, I'm meeting up with a friend, and then even later, I have my football stuff in the STO passenger footwell because I'm playing a 6-a-side game and I'm turning up. I actually don't know many of the guys that I play with. I'm very new to this group of people, and I'm turning up in a pink/purple Lamborghini. Now, I will start by saying this is totally out of my budget for my next daily driver, as is this rather lovely spec Cullinan. There's another G63 here. I actually think these three cars here might already be sold, but behind this G63 is something of a little more interest. This RS4 has around £20,000 worth of modifications, including these Vossen wheels, and it has definitely been lowered as well. Now, Mustangs are a little bit of me. I would love to have an American muscle car. Whether it's the perfect daily or not, I'm not too sure, and I've got a funny feeling this is supercharged. A Roush sun visor across the top is a bit of a giveaway, but this definitely looks like a track monster. Now, here we have the ultimate when it comes to Ferrari daily drivers, the FF with the naturally aspirated V12. I love this thing, and in a weird champagne colour, I actually think it looks quite nice. Is that a chocolate inside? Apparently, I am the first person that has walked into this dealership and said they like the wheels on this SV Roadster in silver. I think this looks unbelievable. It's actually one of the classiest looking SVs I've seen, and it just looks epic with these wheels. They're almost like a polished silver. It's got the carbon seats inside. It is an absolute monster, and in this colour. Not entirely sure what the paint code is, but it looks so good. Balloon white Aventador S, 720S, a 992 at the back, and then this 488 Spider. Novitec wheels paired with a Novitec exhaust. This is a full race system that actually you might be able to see because this has an aftermarket Capristo glass engine bay, so you can actually see the engine. Now, the one thing that I think I need to mention is the practicality of this is less than ideal. Now, for this car, you kind of want it to be a road trip car, take to the Nürburgring, take to a track day so that you can enjoy the performance capabilities of it. And well, there pretty much isn't a boot in the front, so therefore the only space that you have is in the passenger footwell and on the passenger seat. So forget the idea of actually having a passenger with you, but I have arrived ready to play football, and I feel like I'm rather incognito in the Viola Blast Huracan. But yeah, I've changed. I'm slightly out of breath because I got caught in a lot of traffic on the M25, but we go over onto the field over there, have a bit of a kickabout, get the heart rate up, and I feel like a professional footballer. I've turned up in a Lamborghini to play football. Oh, I've arrived early so I can get my practice in. Oh no, I've actually got part two here. Slightly bigger goal, free kick on the edge of the box. If I miss, it's going out of bounds and I literally won't be able to get that ball back. I'm not an 18-year-old anymore. I can't do an hour of football without waking up in the morning, being completely annihilated. We lost, as you would have probably guessed by my finishing. And now I'm back in the daily, which is the rather uncomfortable and incredibly hardcore Lamborghini, which is a lot of fun to get in and out. However, today we are going to have some fun because I'm about to hit one of my favourite local roads in this car to talk a little bit about how this car drives. Now, we all know the Huracan STO is a fantastic track-focused road car. However, there you go, there's a scrape on the front. Sometimes you don't need nose lift, sometimes you do, you never know. It's actually got quite good ground clearance, but
The one thing that I want to touch upon is the exhaust and the way Lamborghini semi-reward you for the way that you drive this car. And I will demonstrate with the very ridiculous valve system on this car, because if I'm just cruising along, the valves are shut. I come to a stop, I downshift, the valves are still shut. I come to a stop, the valves open, which is a really weird concept to grasp. Lamborghini obviously want you to sound good when you're standstill, but the moment you're driving through a little leafy village like this, you want the valves to be shut so that you're not frustrating people. But unlike some of the previous Huracans, which on the little Manatino down here, you can control whether the valves are shut low down in the revs or whether they're open the entire time. I think for the STO, because of the amount of times people want to take this out on track, Lamborghini have forced the valve shut at low revs, which is neither here nor there. The problem is when the valves open, it's so loud that you're likely to get kicked off from every single track day. However, as you drop below the threshold of the valves shut again, so and you downshift and the valves aren't open. So if you're in the 4,500 RPM going up and down the gears, sometimes the valves open. That's a downshift. That was a downshift. The valves are shut. The valves are open. The valves are shut. And then valves are open again. It's a strange setup. So Lamborghini want you to drive this car at 10 tenths to get the real heart and soul of this car out. Otherwise, you will be bouncing around the limit of whether the valves stay open or not. And then, almost sounds electric. It is such a bizarre experience. Look at these downshifts. What's the point? But it just wants to have its neck wrung out. Even with, like, did you just hear that? The valves are shut, I downshift, the valves open a little bit, and then they shut again. It is one of the most responsive, dynamic, and outright outrageous road cars I've ever driven. From the looks to the sound to the way this car drives, the steering input and that front end is terrifyingly direct. You have to be so on the ball. I'm hoping the GoPro is picking up the sound that is coming out, but I'm giving a pretty accurate description and demonstration of what this valve system is like, because it is bizarre. Well, the time has come, the final drive back to Lamborghini Hatfield after 7 days of daily driving a Huracan STO in quite possibly the best spec Huracan I have ever seen. And this will go down as my favourite press drive for a multiple of reasons. But the first one is just how bonkers this car looks and how much fun it has been to drive on a day-to-day basis on all sorts of different drives. It's comfy, it's easy, it's smooth. It is not as intimidating as you might think based on the way that this thing looks. It's comfortable, the gearbox is silky smooth, and when the valves are shut, it's incredibly quiet. You're able to do very mundane, normal things, but it's not perfect. There are so many elements to this car that have been compromised that make it so Lamborghini, like you're not going to be able to do all of the track days because this will break a lot of noise limits. Even though it's a track-focused car, you're kind of banned from taking it on track anywhere in the UK. Then, if you want to take it on a road trip and drive to the Alps, where this car would also be absolutely phenomenal, you've got to weigh up. Do you want a passenger and no one bring any luggage? Or do you want to bring all of your luggage but not have a companion to share this incredible experience with? So again, you're kind of weighing up options with this car. You're flirting with danger every single time you take it for a drive. If you start it up, the valves open and it roars into life. If you take it for dinner and come home at 11 PM, are you going to be waking up your neighbours? It depends how you drive this car. And that's what I love so much about it. It has been so much fun, has multiple personalities, and at the end of the day, is one of the craziest looking Lamborghinis you can buy and be on the road driving. So you create attention everywhere you go. Eyeballs just swing to the car. And the amount of times that I've had thumbs up, big fist bumps from people in petrol stations who are just driving this car. It is an ultimate Lamborghini when it comes to that sense. And then you have it on the driveway and you're just looking down on it and you come out and you pick the Lamborghini. It's the ultimate Lamborghini experience, and that is the best way that I can summarize. It's super easy to drive, not intimidating in the slightest, so much fun to drive, and actually relatively efficient. I'll touch upon the fuel economy. I started with a full tank. I've only put 50 quid into this car, which topped it back up to about half. So I've done a tank and a half, which has cost me 50 quid because it came with a full tank. And I've done about 450 miles. And I've driven this car hard. It makes me feel alive. The car is so responsive and alive. It might just be my favorite Lamborghini. And especially in this spec. It has grown on me continually throughout the week. And I am incredibly sad to be handing the keys back. So, as a summary goes, this goes down in history as one of the ultimate Lamborghinis. And I thought Huracans were getting a little bit boring. But this one is top level, absolutely top level. Buy an STO over every single Huracan variant. Unless you can't afford the STO because it's so expensive, then get a Huracan Performante. I'm here now. Very, very sad. Oh, they've got the Storato in. That's pretty cool. I need to go and find my R8. I will leave the video there, guys. Urus S, Urus S, and the Storato. I will leave the video there, guys. Park up and sadly return the keys and pick my R8 up, which will be somewhere around here. I haven't seen it yet, but it'll be nice to get back into that car. I will see you soon, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care. Goodbye.